Everyone, my name is Paula, and today we are going to do a quick overview of this book, just so I can get it up on the website. We were originally going to do It's Perfectly Normal, but in the meantime this book came in, so I wanted to just go over it real quickly for you so you can have something to look forward to as to what we're going to be doing here. It's not the Stork. As you can see, it's for ages 4 and up. Something that I wanted to point out that I read that I found quite interesting is on the bottom last paragraph here. It says, completely vetted and approved by science, health, and child development experts. The information is age appropriate and scientifically accurate. I'll say that again. The information is age appropriate and scientifically accurate. 4-year-olds, my friends, 4-year-olds. And that is, how they feel. That's what I feel is okay for a 4-year-old to know all that stuff. They consider this book age appropriate. So, little pictures of the birds and the bees here. And again, it's mentioned on this page as well that in the paragraph, let's see, second paragraph, it says, we created a book to answer young children's many questions and concerns about these issues. We talked with parents, teachers, librarians, nurses, doctors, social workers, psychologists, scientists, health professionals, the clergy to make sure that all this material in the book is age appropriate. Again, age appropriate. And scientifically accurate and as up to date as possible at this time. And I think that this book, was written in or was published in January 2006. So it is old. I'm sure they have some updates to it. It's just a list of the contents. And we'll go through each thing really quickly here. The birds and the bees go to the zoo. They learn about animal families and so forth. Questions. The kids have questions about the different families and the babies and where they come from and so forth. Girls do this, boys do that. They're showing different things that boys and girls can do. All pretty harmless. Oh, it gets better. Same and different. It starts to talk about how boys and girls are different. Their inside parts and outside parts, and a little boy going to the bathroom, little boy standing up going to the bathroom. This is fun. Okay. Toe to head, as you can see. I won't get into that. Boys, toe to head. Then head to toe. Okay, you get the picture. The boy, head to toe. What boys have, just real quickly, penis opening to urethra, scrotum, and anus. Vas deferens tubes, scrotum, bladder, urethra, penis, testicle. And uncircumcised penis and a circumcised penis. Okay. What girls have, clitoris, opening to urethra, opening to vagina, and the vulva, and the anus, and in her front, her fallopian tubes, ovary, uterus, vagina, ovary, bladder, urethra. Girls grow up, boys grow up. Talks about what happens when they start to grow up. When a girl grows up, her body becomes a woman's body, and just says the different things that happens with her, the eggs and so forth, and the same with the men with the sperm cells. So many eggs, so many sperm. basically to things one very tiny sperm from inside a man's body to one tiny from inside a woman's body are needed to make a baby. And again, the adult, the penis, the testicles, the testy, the adult female fallopian tubes, ovary, uterus, fallopian tube, ovary. It's not the stork. To make a baby, a sperm from a man's body and an egg from a woman's body must get together. When grown-ups want to make a baby, most often a woman and a man have a special kind of loving called making love, having sex, or sex. This kind of love happens when the woman and the man get so close to each other that the man's penis goes inside the woman's vagina. 4 years old, people. Children are much too young to do that special kind of loving called sex that grown-ups do. Now that's obvious. When grown-ups have sex, sperm can swim out through the small opening from the tip of the man's penis into the woman's vagina. Then the sperm swim through her vagina and through her uterus into her two fallopian tubes. I mean, you guys know how that works, right? Another cartoon about the big swim, about how the egg goes and turns, and meets the sperm and what it turns into and so forth. I won't get into all of that right now, unless somebody wants me to. But right now it's just an overview. Growing in the womb. So basically, let's see, the uterus is called the womb. Once the ball of cells plants itself into the womb, that's when a woman is pregnant. Pregnant means a woman is going to have a baby. The woman is pregnant until her baby is born. It's hard to believe that a tiny ball of cells can grow into a whole person, a baby, but it can. And then it just talks about the pregnant woman. While the baby is growing, it's inside the uterus, first called an embryo, then it's called a fetus. Let's see. A fetus does not grow in a pregnant woman's stomach. It goes inside her uterus. Okay. Pinpoint to watermelon. Not sure. Let's see. This is amazing. In just a few months' time, a tiny fetus grows to be about the size of a watermelon. So it talks of going from sperm to the different stages of the baby, 6 months, 9 months. Let's see. A pregnant woman's uterus does not pop because her uterus and her skin are stretchy like a balloon. While the fetus grows bigger, the woman's uterus and skin stretch. That's why the uterus is a safe place for a fetus to grow. The twisty cord talks about the cord, how a fetus eats and breathes. Inside of the dog, inside of the mommy. All day and all night. While the fetus is growing inside the uterus, it can do so many things. Kick, punch, suck its thumb, fingers, so forth, and shows just some different positions of the baby. You might like to ask a woman who is having a baby, your mother, your aunt, your family, your friend's mother, if you can put your hand on her belly. Sometimes you can feel and see the fetus punch and kick. Sometimes you can even see the fetus body turn or move. None of this hurts the pregnant woman or the fetus. And then it gets into twins, triplets, multiples. Let's see. It's a boy. Let's see, most babies are born in the hospital. Some babies are born at home. Most times, special people, doctors or midwives, nurses or doulas, help mommy while her baby is being born. Often the daddy or the partner, or sometimes aunts or uncles, grandparents, or good friends also help. When the baby is ready to be born, the muscles inside the mummy's uterus push the baby out of the uterus and through the mummy's vagina. The vagina stretches to make room for the baby as it slides out and is born. Just slides right out. Most babies are born this way. Another way, and then it looks like they talk about circumcisions. I'm sorry, cesareans. Circumcisions next. Okay, happy birthday. Most babies let out a cry the moment they're born. Let's see, it talks about what happens with the cord. And then a place where the cord was attached becomes baby's belly button. The day you were born was your birthday. Cuddles and kisses. Most kids and grown-ups can't remember being a baby, but might want to ask your parent or parents to show you pictures of yourself when you were little, or you could ask them to tell you stories about all the amazing things you could do and what you were like when you were little. A bit more talk about when babies are hungry, with mom breastfeeding. Let's see, babies also love to be cuddled. All kinds of families. Almost all babies grow up and are loved and taken care of by a family. Most babies are born into their family. Some babies and children are adopted into their home. Some families have one child. Some families have 2 or 3 or 4 or more children. Some families have a mommy and a daddy. Some have a mommy. Some have a daddy. Some have 2 mommies. Some have 2 daddies. Some kids live with a parent and step-parent. Some have, or with an aunt, an uncle, a grandmother, or grandfather, or with foster parents. Some kids live with one parent part of the time and with the other parent the rest of the time. Sometimes a parent or parents cannot take care of their baby or child, so they make a plan for their baby or child to be adopted, to become part of another family, and that baby or child lives with grown-ups, grows up with, and is loved and taken care of by the parents or parents who adopt them. And the baby or child becomes part of that parent or parent's family. When that happens, that's called an adoption. Parents, sisters, brothers, cousins, aunts, uncles, grandparents are all part of a person's family, and for many people, good friends, babysitters, and nannies are part of the family too. And then just the showing different types of families. Okay touches, not so okay touches. Babies, kids, teenagers, and grown-ups all need cuddles and hugs and kisses from the people who are good to us and love us. The everyday hugs and kisses and touching and holding hands with our families and good friends are okay touches. There are okay touches and not okay touches. The parts of our bodies that are under our underpants or our bathing suits are called privates or our privates. If you touch or rub the private parts of your own body because it tickles and feels good, that's an okay touch. During a checkup, the reason your doctor or nurse has to look in and touch your privates is to make sure that every part of your body is healthy. That kind of touching is done by a doctor or nurse and is also an okay touch. Any person who touches your privates or any other part of your body that you do not want them to, these are not okay touches. If this happens to you, tell that person stop or no or don't. Even if the person is someone in your family or a friend or someone you know or love or is bigger, older, or stronger than you are. If any kind of not okay touch happens to you, you need to tell a grown-up right away. Even if the person who touched you tells you to keep it a secret, this is a secret you have to tell someone. Tell someone in your family or your teacher or doctor or nurse or school nurse or someone you know very well. If the person you tell does not help you or believe you, keep on telling people until someone believes you. That person will do everything she or he can to help keep you safe and protect you and to make the not okay touches stop. Luckily, there are many grown-ups who can and will help. Girls, boys, and friends. As you grow up from a baby to a little kid to a big kid, it's fun to have friends. It doesn't matter how many friends you have. Boys, girls, let's see, sharing, saying I'm sorry. Let's see, anytime you don't want to hold hands or be touched or hugged or kissed by a friend, it's okay to tell the friend that. Or if a friend does not want to hold hands or be touched or hugged or kissed by you, that's okay too. Good friends listen to one another. Let's see. You don't have to do everything a friend tells you to do. Friends do not have to do everything you tell them to do. It's also okay for friends to do different things and even get mad at each other, no matter what. It's so nice to have a friend. Well, growing up. You are growing up. Once you were a baby, now you are a kid. One day you will be a teenager. It's hard to believe, but someday you will be growing up. You might even decide to be a mommy or a daddy. And when you are even older, you may become a grandpa or a grandma. Girls grow up to be women. Boys grow up to be men. Growing up takes a long time and a lot of years. Growing up is so amazing. And Leave It. We've got another little cartoon about the bird and the bees. And then a thank you with the list of people who were involved in the book. And of course the index. And there's just a little thing on the back here. Praise from the experts for It's Not the Stork. Actually, some of these are surprising. T. Barry Brazelton, Joshua Sparrow. Let's see what else I saw here. There was a couple that were pretty surprising that I saw on here, but we can certainly go back to that. So that's it, and that's just a really brief overview. And hopefully you gained some information. If you would like to go over anything specific, I have a lot of books that need to be read. So if you want anything specific or you want me to go back to anything and read it or get you pictures of something, just write and ask and start a blog or anything like that. And I'd be happy to get it to you. I hope you enjoyed this. And again, I'm sorry for the inconsistency with the video and the poor quality. It's just been a rough evening, but thank you very much for joining in, and we hope to see you again, and we'll talk soon.